We are live once again, boys and girls. Today we're gonna go over and we're gonna cover the very first ride that we had today, which was on the 150cc swapped Apollo RFZ. So today I thought we're gonna go over and we will talk about some of our thoughts about how the 150cc swap is and how the thing rips. So we'll go ahead and I'm just gonna get the bike situated here and give it a little hose down while you guys join the stream, and then we go over and we can get some thoughts going on what I think about the 150cc swap. And if you guys have any questions, you guys feel free to leave your questions and we'll answer them in this Q&A stream. So we'll go ahead and get some hose. Just gonna start with washing our bike here. It's a dirty girl. It was a really good day of riding. It was really wet. Sorry, it was really muddy, not wet, and dry and dusty. And surprisingly, the bike held up. Made it the whole day of riding, which was really awesome and really good to see that nothing broke on it. Just get it all nice and wet. So yeah, it was actually a fairly decent day of riding. It was actually pretty dry, pretty dusty out. Welcome to the stream. If you're joining the stream now, we're gonna be going over and doing a Q&A and talking about this 150cc swapped pit bike. And we're gonna go over and cover some of our thoughts on how this thing actually performed instead of riding that 125cc engine, how the 150cc engine did. So if you guys do have any questions, you guys can feel free to leave a comment and ask your questions away and I will answer them. And that Moto kid, how fast is it? Good question. Actually, we didn't end up doing an actual top speed test with a speedometer today. We're gonna go over and save that for another video. It definitely is faster than the 125, that's for damn sure. It's definitely got a lot more torque, and you can notice in the hill climbs that this thing, you can be in a gear higher than like you need to be, and it'll just absolutely destroy the hill climb and climb up pretty much any trail I pointed it at. I could be in any gear, and you could be bogging down the bike and it just wanted to climb up everything. So that was super awesome and convenient to have. But for speed wise, I'm gonna say it's probably like an extra 10 to 15 kilometers an hour faster. But it's kind of hard to gauge until next time when I get once I actually get a top speed guy. So I'm gonna have someone riding their bike next to me, and then we can actually figure out what a top speed is on the bike, because that's gonna be exciting to see. I'm gonna assume it's somewhere around, if we can hit 90k an hour for top speed, I'd be pretty hyped on this thing, because the last one we could hit about 90. I think we could hit 90-ish kilometers an hour. Once we did that gearing swap in it, we were able to reach 92, I want to say, on a downhill, and 86 kilometers an hour on the flat, which is pretty quick for a little tiny pit bike like this. But I'm just gonna go ahead and roll this in the garage here. Welcome Blue to the stream. Hello brother. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them down below. We're just gonna be going over and we're gonna talk a bit more here now that we got it in the garage and it's nice and cleaned up. So honestly, is it worth it? Totally worth. If you're gonna be buying an engine, hey Tavian Raymond, welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome. Hope glad you could join. Yeah, is it worth it? Totally worth it. I think putting the 150cc into the 125 frame is great. It's a good size for it. You don't actually really notice like too much extra weight or anything. And the torque is just a monster. It's way better in the torque. You can be higher up in a gear, and the power band just keeps on pulling when you're doing hill climbs. You guys will see I went out and filmed an entire video today riding with the old man and his 300 Husqvarna, and we went out and found a whole slew of sick trails. You want to know how fast this bike is? I'm gonna say, Tavian, it could probably hit 95, maybe 100 if you're going downhill, which is sick. But once again, I'm gonna have to go and do a speed test and actually get my dad, who has a speedometer. He's got a speedo up on his bike, and that'll actually tell you how fast you're going. So We're gonna have to get him to ride next to me so I can actually tell what the top speed is on this guy. Goddamn neighbors, why do you gotta be fucking mowing the lawn right now? But this 150, totally worth putting in. It's like $100 difference. So if you're trying to buy this engine online, it's gonna cost you like $4.99 anywhere you go for the 125 model that I got over here in a crate. You guys can't even see it. But this 150cc was $5.99, so it was an extra $100 more. Totally worth it. Should I 150 swap my RFZ or get a YZ 125? You know, Dat Moto Kid, that's a really good question. Now, can you confirm something, Dat Moto Kid? I can't remember off the top of my head. Is the YZ 125, is that a 2-stroke or is that a 4-stroke? I can't quite remember. Because honestly, that's gonna really depend on your riding style, on what's gonna work better for you. Because an RFZ, if you're 6 feet tall, that's tough to say because I'm 6 foot tall as well, and when I sit on the pit bike, this pit bike in specifics, it's a little tiny bit short, like height wise for me. Like I sat on my buddy's RM85 in the last 2 videos, and I fit that just a whole lot better. Like my room to the ground on where I was standing, like on this bike, I'm completely flat footed and like bent kneed. Whereas on the RM85, I was like, you know, I was about like a straight legged kind and flat-footed, so it's really nice standing. So 150 swapping your RFZ, I'm not so sure that's going to be ideal for someone who's taller, who really wants to like get out on the trails and ride. Like, it's a great starter bike, don't get me wrong, and I think anyone who's learning how to ride, this is like the perfect size of bike and the perfect general like length and dimensions for someone who's just starting out to ride. I think it's perfect for that. Now, comparing it to a YZ 125, the YZ is the bigger size frame. All day I can recommend getting the YZ over this. Now, if the YZ, I can't remember off the top of my head, if you can confirm that. Hi, Mariana Infante. Sorry if I butchered your name. Hello, welcome to the stream, brother. Oh, okay, that's gone. Yeah, I would strongly recommend the YZ 125. Honestly, just being genuine, I think that's probably going to be a better fit for you. Now, if it is the 2-stroke, it may be a bit more tough to ride on the trails, and that's something I definitely noticed today, was going back to this 4-stroke. It's so much easier to ride in the trails. Like, when you're going at the slow speeds, and you're in between, like, first, second, third gear. Hey, Gabe, what up? Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome. We're just going to go over and we're just kind of talking about some of the specifications covering this 150. Thank you, Tavian. Thank you for enjoying the channel. I'm glad I could have someone enjoy the stream, enjoy the channel, enjoy the content that I make and create. But that 2-stroke power is just so much different than the 4-stroke, and the 4-stroke really just likes to chug along in like the really tight technical trails. This thing is totally happy. It's in its place. It's like it couldn't be any more happy when you're on the slow trails. But then you get that YZ 125, and it's so brappy that like it's hard. It's a lot more difficult to control the bike when it's a YZ 125. If it's a 2-stroke, because the nature of the bike is you could be rolling into the power and the bike's not really power, and then all of a sudden the bike just wants to like take off and start popping wheelies and stuff. So if you're learning, it can be way more difficult on the 2-stroke, whereas the 4-stroke's a lot more predictable in the power band. You can fully roll into it, and this thing, you don't ever have to be scared that the front tire is like gonna pop a wheelie or anything like that. Like this bike, it's just a lot more friendly for a beginner user to hop on the RFC and just get on the bike and ride. Like I can get my girlfriend, she can come out of the truck, we can be camping, and I can just throw her on the RFC and she can just take off, rip it, cruise, and no problem. But if I can already just tell you, if I tried to throw my girlfriend on the RM85, that 2-stroke bike, she would be freaking out. She'd be screaming at the top of her lungs and probably end up wiping out pretty quick. So if you're learning 4-stroke, for sure. The 150 over the 125, can I recommend it? 100% I can recommend you actually grabbing the 125. One problem, try not to say any bad word in decent language. I am Christian. Taven Raymond. I'm sorry, brother. I just naturally swear a lot. I'm not Christian. I'm not any of that religion stuff, so it slips. Sorry if I do swear. I understand there's young ears maybe watching, so we'll try and keep that in mind. But yeah, I honestly think that if you're gonna get one of these RFCs, I can strongly recommend that you actually pick up like a 150 model at least, or the 190 model RXF. That'd definitely be a huge upgrade of power, because the power on the 125 is just not all that great. Like it's good enough to get you going, get you started, learn how to ride the bike. But then once you like get the power band down of the 125, you learn where the power is, and you're confident rolling through first, second, third, fourth. You've rolled through all the gears on the 125. It just gets boring. It gets dull. The ride in the main roads is super duper boring, and like it's dull when you're riding the 125 and you get used to it. It's just like meh. Like it's cool, it's fun. First few months of riding, super fun, super exciting. As soon as you got used to it though, and you're like the whole power band, you're just used to rolling through all the gears, it just loses its fun. It loses the thrill, I guess. And like when I got on that RM85, that two-stroke that my buddy had, I was screaming like a girl the whole time, like adrenaline pumping through the roof, crazy, like the whole time. So I don't know, a two-stroke versus four-stroke, it really depends on what you like and what you want to ride. And if any of you guys want, or have any more questions, feel free to throw them up. This is a Q&A, so if you got any questions, don't hold back. Feel free to ask me. I'm here to answer your questions. Can you wheelie your bike? Tavian, I can't. Honestly, I can't wheelie. So if you guys want to see that, maybe we can make like a whole video. I'll call it like how to learn how to wheelie, and maybe like show you guys me learning how to wheelie and probably a bunch of fails. So if you guys are interested in that, maybe you can go ahead, hit like button on the stream if you guys are enjoying it and you want to see some learn how to wheelie content or wheelie fails. Go ahead, hit the like button, and I'll make that happen. If you guys want to see it, leave comments on my video, say, hey, we want to see some wheelie videos, and I'll make it happen. Ride safe, good boy. You got it, buddy. Riding safe is #1 priority. That's why we got these guys. Knee pads, brother. You need them. Like twice the power, which is insane. I don't know if you could say it has more strength, as you commented. I think that is you're saying you do a translator from Spanish to English. But yeah, the YZs and like the two-stroke bikes are all just like miles faster than the four-stroke bike. Try putting one knee on the seat when you wheelie. Oh man, like this. You got your bike and you put your knee up on the back here, and you're popping it right from there. If you don't understand, I'm speaking through the translator and I'm learning the language and I'm learning the words. No worries, Blue. I just got a sweet old glass of lemonade brought to me, so that's dope. Can always enjoy that while we're talking about content. That's some good stuff. But yeah, come on guys, if you got any more questions, feel free to spit them. Any questions about the RFZ or any questions about the swap? Oh, I will cover this. I guess I missed yesterday in our other video when I was doing the swap and our first start in the stream. These brake pads, if you're looking for a set of brakes, yes, you're totally right, Gabe. For anyone who is in the stream wondering why two strokes have more torque, it's because every second, every stroke to the piston goes up, and it's compression, air, compression, air, compression. Like it's back and forth between air and compression. Whereas on the four-stroke, you're doing like, what is it? Air, intake, compression. I can't even remember. It's like air, fuel, compression, bang. It's four strokes, right? So you only get one stroke out of the four is power. Whereas a two-stroke, you have one stroke out of every two strokes is power. It would be amazing if it sounded like a real four-stroke. Honestly, Blue, I'm decently impressed by the sound that this bike makes. Being a 150 with the 125 exhausting on and everything, it actually sounds pretty sick compared to now. I would love to show it and start it up, but I can't right now because my neighbors are all outside and I don't want to be a total nuisance. So if you guys want to, you guys can go and check. The next video I will be posting is going to cover everything. You're going to hear sounds and the whole like wide open throttle and everything on this dirt bike. Now keep in mind my video that I am posting, that's going to be posted maybe tomorrow night, is going to be the break-in video that I just rode from today. Just before this live stream went live, I was out riding. We found some super sick and gnarly technical trails. They're way too much fun, and like you guys are gonna see, like I just about wiped out way too much. And we found some trials trails, which this thing is definitely not meant for trials, but you know what, we just said fuck it and we just totally sent it on the trails and did some trials riding. And then that Moto kid, left knee on the seat like so, and right foot over the brake. Yeah, so as you're popping it up, you got one here just like that, and fucking pop that SOB up, right? Do a burnout, NGK. Bro, do you see where I live? Do you see where I live, NGK? Neighbors. neighbors. I got neighbors all around me, bro. I can't just fucking do a you know what? If I had the property to do a freaking burnout, dude, NGK, I'd be sending it. You fucking hunter, but you count on that shit. I'd be sending this. But there's no way I can do a burnout here, dude. Not a chance. You fucking nuts. I'll get the cops called on me too. Literally, on the other side of my house, on the back side of my house, there's a road. On the other side of that road is the police. So I think that's, I'd love to just fucking send it, but they know me a little bit too well already. And yeah, just like that, right? You just knee up on this SOB, foot covering the brake. Oh yeah, if you guys didn't see this already, obviously you haven't because you haven't watched today's video because it isn't live. But my foot peg, that's not very strong stuff, as you guys can see. I'm really sorry about the background noise. My fucking air blower going right now, like, god damn it. Yes, and don't use the clutch. If you're trying to do pop a wheelie, just try and actually, ideally when you Chinesium, sender bender. Well, brother, you're not right. This is a Chinesium bike, and that's kind of why the Chinesium motor blew up like 30 hours. So let's see how much hours we actually put on today's ride. And if you guys don't have one of these already, you guys 100% need to order one. There's a little hour meter here, and this just tells you how long the engines ran for. Now obviously this engine hasn't ran for 33 hours. This is my old hour meter off the 125, so this is now keeping the hours counted from the total frame. So I got 3 hours on the engine from today's ride, and I have 33 hours on the entirety of this frame. So an hour meter is absolutely mandatory. If you don't have one of those, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You better go get one and order one. I got links down in the description if you guys want to buy one. So make sure you guys get one of those hour meters if you don't already have one. Roll on the throttle, then off, then go back on. You're very right, that Moto Kid. You kind of load it on throttle, press down, preload. And then once you finish preloading, you're gonna let go, pop it, and it should pop the wheelie. Like, I've gotten some wheelies started and stuff, but I haven't really just nailed it down where I can like be popping 12s and dragging hands on the ground and all that shit. I mean, eventually when I do get there, you guys are definitely gonna see that in some videos on how I do wheelies and stuff. But yeah, if you guys got any more questions, feel free to throw them up. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what else to cover about the swap. Thinking about it, interestingly enough, when you do the 150cc swap into the bike, this exhaust, the complete exhaust right from the housing that goes into the intake, of the exhaust of the combustion chamber, it actually is all 125 and it's all original and completely fits and bolts on. This is the modification you're going to need. So this is a CG 125 Kickstarter, and this is going to be crucial to your swap, as the original is the wrong size on the actual spindle. So this spindle here is a 16 millimeter on the 150, whereas on the 125 this spindle is actually only 13 millimeters, which is very tiny. So your Kickstarter that comes on the 125 is not going to work on the 150, and you are going to need to order one of these. So if you're doing the swap, I highly recommend that you get one of these right off the get-go from day one, so that you're not having any downtime waiting on a Kickstarter once your engine is actually in. The next thing I can specify that you're going to need to swap in if you are trying to do this 150cc swap, you can actually see, if I zoom in here, that this cable is like completely just jerry-rigged with zip ties and like a black sleeve right here that we have just like slid over top of the clutch line and zip tied it down to the bracket that it's supposed to mount up on up in here. But as you guys can tell, that's clearly not how it's supposed to be. And this is actually the clutch line from the 125cc that we have retrofitted to make work on the 150cc. So the clutch feel is actually really nice, and it feels just as nice as it did on the 125. And if you're curious to actually pull the clutch, like the feel of pulling the clutch and how difficult it is or isn't, it's very easy once I've swapped it now into the 150. This thing slides like butter, super easy to disengage and engage the gears. Other thing I want to cover while you guys are here is the actual difference between the 125 and the 150. On the 150, the throttle actually seems to be a whole lot snappier and a lot more on off. Like before, you could really kind of just barely twist it like 1/8 of an inch, and it wouldn't really move, like it barely start moving. But this thing is very touchy and sensitive on the throttle. Now, Blue asked down in the comment section below, he says, with the improvements that you will make to the bike How many new kilometers will he perhaps have? 60. I'm sorry, Blue, whatever translation you had there, that doesn't make any sense. With the improvements that you'll make to him, how many new kilometers will he have? How much? Maybe you're asking like how much faster did you get to 65 kilometers, like how much faster the acceleration is. I'll say there's not noticeably a whole lot more acceleration or top speed that you necessarily get, but what I do notice is across the whole power band is that this engine has a lot more torque. Will it run faster? Overall top speed, hard to say. Actually depends on the actual gearing on the engine itself, what tooth gearing it actually has. I wanted to do a Daytona 190 swap in my 2-year-old RFZ with a 212 kit. That Moto kit, that has been done. If you're not a part of the Apollo RFZ pit bike group, definitely hop on and check that group out, because there is guys who have the 190 swap and the 212 kit done into their RFZ. So if you're trying to do that, I would definitely highly suggest checking out that Facebook page in that group, and they can guide you better into doing that swap, because that is a dope ass swap, and I do recommend putting a 190 in. If you don't have the RXF and you're not wanting to buy the RXF, just friggin' stick that right into the RFC, call it a day, have fun. Blue says that's what I tried to say. Yes. Will it run faster? Will it run faster up to 65 kilometers an hour? I think so. I think it's got a little bit extra pep in its step. It doesn't feel like it's dramatically faster. Like going from the 125 to my buddy's RM85 was a bigger jump in between the power band than it was from the 125 to the 150cc, and still even from the 150cc to the RM85, the RM85 is faster all day compared to this 125 and the 150cc. So really, is it that much faster? Not really. Is it more enjoyable to ride throughout the different trails and stuff? 100% can agree with that. That having the more torque throughout makes it way easier in the higher gears. So yeah, a couple other things that I can think of while we're here. The gas tank, the plastics, everything fits original onto the bike, as well as, oh right, I totally wanted to include this. The carburetor. This is the carburetor. This is a genuine MIKUNI carburetor. If you guys don't have one of these and you're still using the stock carb, you're sleeping. Click the link in the bio, buy one of these MIKUNI carburetors, support your boy at the same time. But these MIKUNI carburetors, this is going to be a game changer and absolutely needed. But this is actually the MIKUNI that I ordered genuinely straight from Apollo. And this is the one that's meant and designed. This is the VM24, and it's actually meant to go on the 125cc. And surprisingly, the intake elbow, this is the elbow off the 125cc, and it does bolt directly up to the 150cc, which is awesome. So then you don't have to buy an extra intake pipe. This channel is an all-in-one. I learned this content, and I'm glad you're enjoying this channel. If you can, make sure you guys hit the like button. It really does support the channel. I really appreciate when you guys do hit like. But this carb, anyways, like I was saying, this is the 125cc carb. And it does just bolt right up to that original intake elbow that does bolt right up into the 150cc engine. So you can utilize your original carb. The only thing that you might need to change out in it when you do this swap is the needle on the slide up here that actually goes to that throttle cable. That needle is probably going to need to be dropped. The C-clip on it's probably going to need to be dropped down a level. So it's closing off the compression chamber sooner than later. So you're going to want to drop that clip down, and that's going to help with some bogging issues. And then you might need to actually change your main jet and your pilot jet inside the bowl of the carb, and that'll help with some bogging, or if you have any breaking up issues. So if any of you guys that are watching this stream right now are having any bogging issues or having any issues with your pit bike whatsoever, go ahead, leave a comment down below, and I can actually try and help you out live right now with any issue that you might be having with your dirt bike while we're here looking at mine, so I can point to the same thing that you're looking and asking about. Yeah, and surprisingly, actually, that the all the wiring and the wiring harness and everything to do with that from the 125 actually bolts directly into the 150. And you can see here's a little control module. This is actually like the brains of the engine, and it's telling it here's the wires to go here. And this thing actually tells the whole bike like what it needs to do, all the engine, like what's going on with the bike. And surprisingly, all that stuff bolts right in and is a direct swap. So literally the only thing you're gonna need on this bike to be able to swap in a 150, which is awesome, is you're gonna need a Kickstarter. You're gonna need to jerry rig some sort of clutch cable on the bike. And other than that, everything is a direct plug and play. Is it true that over time the engine grows larger and increases more cc and gasoline consumed? That's totally false. Your engine does not grow in displacement size as you use it. The only thing that's going to happen is your like piston sleeves and rings and the block itself may get worn down like 1/1000th of a millimeter, but it sure is not going to increase in cc, and it should not increase in how much gasoline it's consuming. If your gasoline changes how much you're consuming, that sounds like you got a fuel leak issue and it's not something going on in the engine. If you guys have enjoyed this stream, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to probably wrap it up here. I'm going to get back to cleaning up and working on my pit bike. I thank you guys so much for enjoying the stream, watching, clicking like, and commenting any of your questions down below. If you guys have any more questions before I head off, go ahead, throw your comments down below and I can answer your questions. If not, I really appreciate you guys liking this video and clicking subscribe to watch more content, and I appreciate every one of you that come in and check out my videos and check out the live streams. I love it when you guys do. Really makes me feel excited and thrilled to post more content. So that Moto Kid says, what chain do you got? That's another great question, and something, if you haven't upgraded, I strongly recommend doing. As you can see, my chain guard is completely snapped. This is a RK 428 120 link. What is this called? The performance chain or something like that. I don't know. It was like 40 bucks and I'm loving it. Honestly, this chain's been great. And the original chain, I never had so many freaking issues with it constantly popping off. So absolutely recommend upgrading your chain like as soon as possible, because the stock chain sucks so bad and it stretches like so friggin' much. So I can't recommend getting an aftermarket chain enough. And then we got Gabe, who says, has anyone tried putting any insane engine on these bikes, like a 250cc plus or even a 2T? Actually, Gabe, if you go to YouTube and we go to the search section, type up, and you're going to be friggin' surprised when you see this thing, type up CRF 450 pit bike, and you'll see a guys who literally took a 450 4-stroke and they swapped it into one of these bikes, and it looks absolutely bananas and is freaking ridiculous. The engine like sticks like all the way out here, like it is so friggin' big inside the bike, and it's obviously completely custom and none of it's bolt-in fabrication stuff. It's all custom fab, and it looks janky. Like the engine is just kind of like hanging out the front of the bike, so it's not a usable. Yeah, that does sound way overpowered. It's fucking bananas. A 450 on one of these little things, like this fucking thing can barely handle a 200 swap, and that's plenty of juice in this little tiny thing with these little tiny rubber band tires, man. So putting a 450 in one of these is freaking bananas. But if you haven't checked that out, that's an absolutely insane video, and you should definitely check that out, because this who puts a 450 in a freaking pit bike? Like, what's the point of that? Where are you going? What are you gonna do with that? You're gonna just up and down the street back and forth? Like, what are you gonna do? You're not riding trails. You're not taking it to the pit bike class and riding in a class league, because who the hell has a 450? And since when are they making a 450 pit bike class? You know, that's not gonna happen. So who's doing that? Maniacs, that's who. Not me, because that's just crazy and expensive. But that'd be dope if I did do it. I mean, I'd do it if you guys want to see it, you know. How much slack you run in your chain. So that Moto Kid, good question, because with these bikes, it's a little weird. So if your bike is in the air and that rear tire is hanging down, the chain is going to have more tension on it as that swing arm pivots down. So as the swing arm pivots up, you're going to lose tension. So like as the bike's sitting right now on the ground flat with nobody sitting on it and it's not in the air, if we come to the chain, I want to say there's like 15 centimeters of play, 15 mils of play, sorry. Like there's a full, no, there's like an inch. But when I sit on it, you guys will notice once I sit here, Kind of hard to see now that this is broken. Here's the chain. I'm sitting on it now, and it's like a couple inches. It's enough that it can go ahead and touch the slider. But as I get off the bike, it's gonna get tighter, and as I hop back on, it's gonna get looser. So that is something to note when you are setting your chain tension on these bikes. You really kind of just like want to set it good and tight when it's flat, just like sitting on the ground, like I have my bike here. When it's sitting just casually on the ground, go ahead and make sure that guy is like pretty tight. So when you actually sit your ass on it, it slacks up a bit, because you're always going to be on the bike, whether your weight's on the pegs or on the, wherever. Like, you're always going to have weight on the bike, so that swing arm's always going to be a little bit more compressed. So slacking your chain to the right tension is like super important, because if you don't slack that to the right, what's going to happen is you're probably going to start stretching out your OEM chain. And if you do put an aftermarket chain on, you probably start to stretch that one out if you don't set it correctly. So it's super important that you set that to the right amount of slack, and just get rid of that stock Chinese chain. It's complete junk, absolute garbage. Blue comments down below saying, I am working hard to buy one of those Apollos. I'm saving about $50 a month. Yeah, you'll be there soon enough, brother. These bikes are super sweet. First bike, just don't get too involved thinking you're gonna have the sickest, greatest, best bike ever, because, well, let's be real here, they're Chinese bikes. And they're gonna break on you. If you want one of these bikes, it's really ideal for someone who wants to learn maybe some basic mechanics and wants to do some work on them. Will you ever do a supermoto build? Now, that's a really good question actually as well. Patricio Paz says, did you ride in the woods yet? Yes, Patricio, I just got back from my ride. I videoed it all with my GoPro here. I got my setup here on my helmet, so that'll be filmed, and I gotta edit that video, and that'll be posted up on the channel. I'm gonna say sometime this weekend, maybe Friday. If everything goes good with my schedule, because it does take time. I don't know if you guys edit videos yourself, but if you guys know, you know, because editing videos in 4K takes forever and is a lot of work, because it's super intensive and hard on the computers. So you need to always, like, I always have to make a video proxy. Now, if you don't know what a video proxy is, it pretty much just makes like a duplicate copy of a video that you can edit it, and you can edit this duplicate, and it's going to apply the changes to the original. So we make a video proxy of the 4K into 1080p. I edit all the DP video, and then the 1080p, once it's edited, becomes back to the source, and then it's 4K, and then I can put all that together. Then I got to render the video, then I upload to YouTube, thumbnail, tags, description, all that stuff. It'll be amazing to see when I walk through the snow. Yeah, I don't know how much you're gonna like riding your dirt bike in snow, Blue. Sorry, Dat Moto Kid said, will you ever do a supermoto build? If you guys wanted enough, I would make it. The problem with that is I just don't really have anywhere to ride a supermoto bike. My local track is a dirt bike track, and then inside of that they have time attack. So maybe I'm gonna look into that, because I'm pretty sure that we actually have a time attack course for cars. Now, I have no idea whether or not they'll allow me to have a dirt bike on it. But that's a really good thought, and actually I kind of want to go try. I'd be interested to see if they'd let me take this to our local speedway, which is called Western Speedway, and I'd be interested to see if they'd actually go do the time attack if I put some street tires on this thing, if they'd actually let me go in the track with that, because that'd be freaking sick. Like, if you guys want to see that content, make sure you guys hit that like button and let me know right now. Friggin' smash the comments section and let me know if you want to see a supermoto ride build. I mean, why not? I can make it happen. I'll make whatever happen that you guys want to see happen. Make it street legal and do urban adventures or something. That'd be good content. That's totally true, dude. Actually, that's very interesting. I gotta see, because I know we need a headlight. If we do that, we need mirrors. We're gonna need turn signals. We're gonna need brake lights. Patricio says, oh, I have one question. Why do you have your Husqvarna in the garage? Just asking. Well, it's one of the many toys. Here, I'll give you a better picture. It's one of our many toys. Got dirt bike, pit bike, right? Dirt bike, side by side, truck 1, truck 2. Oh, that's actually not my friend's Husqvarna. That's my dad's. So I still live with my parents currently. I'm in the middle of moving out and all that fun stuff. I'm also in the middle of changing jobs. I worked in a hospital and now I'm going to work in the post office. So there's a mix of my toys and his toys and everyone's toys around the yard and stuff. So if you're wondering, that's not my friend's Husqvarna. That's actually my dad's that he picked up because I bought my RFZ. He wanted a bike to be able to come out and go riding with me again because the side-by-side just can't necessarily fit everywhere in the trails. And obviously the dirt bikes can fit anywhere. They can pretty much go up any walking trail. So he picked up I think this is a 300 Husqvarna 4-stroke. And it's actually interesting because it has electric start only. There is no Kickstarter. So yes, actually, Patricio, I have tried the Husqvarna and it's fucking sick. Thing's sweet. But obviously I can't afford something like that. Otherwise I'd have something like that. But this thing is a whole lot cheaper than one of these things. So yeah, I have tried it. I tried a 250 gas, I tried a 300, I tried the 125, I tried the 150, I tried the RM 85. I've ridden Polaris 400, Suzuki 400 race quads. This is I think it's a 700 or an 800 Arcticat, like dual lockers and everything like that. But yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I think I'm about to wrap this up. I am about ready to go kick it and relax. We've been streaming for 40 minutes, talking to you guys in the garage. So thank you guys. Really do appreciate you guys watching these streams and hitting the like button if you are watching and have enjoyed what you watched. It really does support the channel and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for checking in today's stream. Another good series we'll be getting a clapped out CR. Dude, literally, you're reading my mind. I was literally about to try and buy a bike the other day that was clapped out and doing a motor swap and then like trying to give it to the girlfriend so maybe she has something that she'll ride. So if that's something that interests you guys and maybe you want to see some if you want to see some girls riding pit bikes, hit the like button. Do it. Go ahead, hit that like button or let me know in the comments because I'll make it happen. I got video of some girl riding him up on a bikini on my pit bike. So if you guys want to see that, just let me know. Just hit that like button or hit that comment, subscribe button. Do that, and yeah, we'll make it happen. Glad to wait for your vid maybe on Friday. Yes, dude. New video will be out. It's gonna be sick. Gonna have some great riding content, some super dope trails. Dat Moto Kid, do it. All right, man. If I get, well, I'll do it. We'll just make it happen, right? For you guys, right? Why not? Because I just got infinite amount of money. I can just keep throwing and throwing and throwing at this stuff, right? Not. I'm broke. I'm actually super broke. I just spent all my money I pretty much had on that 150cc swap. That was like everything I had that was like spare cash. So for the meantime, I'm just gonna be trying to get by, make some sweet content, make some enjoyable content. And if you guys can, support your boy by checking out some of my merch. And if you can't, support your boy by spending some dollars for free. All you gotta do is hit like and subscribe, watch the videos, and that's plenty of support for me, and it helps the channel out. So thank you guys for watching. Today has been an awesome day. It's a great first ride on the 150cc swapped pit bike. It did surprisingly well. And it was really great because there is no false neutrals, which is something I had a lot of issue with the 125. Is it always kind of go into like false neutral between gears. You could like go to press down gear and the gear lever would stay like clicked partially down and stay stuck there. And Blue says he's gonna swap in. I will soon. I'll make my Apollo 125 to 450. We'll see it. But if you make a 450 swap, you take a photo. I'll post it up on the channel and I'll share with everyone. Because I'm sure any of my viewers would be more than excited to see a 450 swapped RFZ. Ah, man. Oh, I forgot my train of thought. What were we talking about? Someone remind me. I was talking about something about the RFC and it was awesome. I can't remember. Something. Blah, 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 blah. I can't remember what I was talking about. I can't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about something really good. Someone help me out. Someone throw it down in the comments. What was I just talking about? Something about the RFZ. Oh, false neutrals. False neutrals. Yeah, the false neutral is like no longer an issue with the 150. So that was something I really enjoyed. Is like how much more the gear lever in the 150 is a lot more like you press it down and it just click. It goes through the gears a lot more nicely is that even a word, a lot more nicely. It goes through the gears like a lot more smoothly and confident. You press the lever and you know, oh yeah, okay, I went up a gear. Oh, okay, I went down a gear. I'm in neutral. I'm in full sparring with the gears themselves. And then Blue saying, my uncle knows lots of mechanics. The safest thing that he adapts the chassis to another. That doesn't make. I'm sorry, Blue. Your live feed is unpredictable, man. I noticed I missed like 30 minutes. Sorry, Patricio. Yeah, this was a total spur of the moment stream. I didn't think I was gonna stream. I didn't plan on like. I didn't think of today. Oh yeah, today we're gonna stream and we're gonna make a video and blah blah blah. Like I knew I was gonna go out and ride and make content that way, but I was just way too excited. I just like felt like I needed to share with you guys my thoughts on like doing the swap and all that stuff. So yeah, sorry man, I don't post anywhere. If you guys want to follow me and you want to know what I'm actually doing and what I'm up to, you guys can follow me 2 different places. Now, if you guys want to make some money, who doesn't like free money, right? If you want to make some money, there's a link in my description. It's called TSU. It's pronounced Sue. If you guys want to sign up, it's a simple app. It's just like Instagram. You download it, you post photos. The difference is between Instagram and Sue, you actually make money. If she likes or whatever, gets a couple comments, blah blah blah, you earn money from those likes. So if you guys click that link in the description, sign up for Tazoo, at me at Aaron Greenway, let me know you signed up, and I'll share some of your posts too and get you kickstarted and start earning you some cash, because who doesn't like freaking money? So you can get a hold of me actually on Tazoo, or Sue, sorry, at Aaron Greenway. So just send me a friend request, send me a message, say, hey, yeah, I joined up, this is from your live stream, or hey, I signed up from Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And I'll share content and you can start making some money. And if you guys don't want that and you're kind of like, I'm lazy, I don't like free money's not cool or whatever, and you're just a lazy bum and you're like, oh, I'll just hit you up on Instagram, well, that works too. If you want to hit me up on Instagram, my Instagram is at Aaron Greenway, or there is the Greenway _ FG was my apparel like Instagram site. So either of those, at Aaron Greenway. I follow you in your Instagram, says Patricio Paz. Hey brother. Well, even then, I don't even post updates if I'm gonna go live on Instagram or Sue. I honestly just kind of live stream whenever. So really, if you want to know when I'm about to live stream, the best way for you to do that, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notifications, and you'll get notified when I go live. Other than that, there's no way for me really to guarantee that you're going to be able to hop into the live stream, because, well, that's just how it works. You need to be subscribed. You need to hit that bell notification. But other than that, I'm not going to procrastinate any longer. We're going to end this stream here. If you guys are still watching, make sure you guys hit that like button. We're 45 minutes into the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been absolute fun talking to you guys. I love doing these streams and reading your comments, answering and talking back and forth with you guys. I absolutely love it. So if you guys want to see some more of these streams, all you gotta do is when you see a stream, you start watching, click like, and that lets me know that you guys are actually really enjoying these streams, and I should keep doing them, because I mean, I love doing them. There's nothing more than making these streams. So thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, enjoy. There should be a video up, hopefully Friday. If it's not up Friday, it will be up Saturday. You can bet your sweet butt cheeks it's gonna be up as soon as possible. Just takes a lot of time of editing, like I said. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna start putting the software. I'm gonna start putting the video content that I filmed from today's awesome very first ride. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start putting that up on the computer, start editing it, and then we're gonna start uploading it so you guys can watch some more awesome content. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.